LUX again, and wow, what an episode. Yeah, LUX certainly did deliver on the promise of being a very out there Doctor Who episode. Certainly genre defying, certainly a lot of things, and I do have a full review planned to be released during the next couple of days. Now, just to break down certain plot elements that happened during this very crazy and bonkers episode, because it was a really interesting setting and a really interesting concept. An abandoned cinema in Miami in 1952, and there's 15 people that have gone missing. And as the Doctor and Belinda investigate, it turns out that these people are held on film tape. Yeah, just your average film tape of the time. And they're being kept there by the god of light, Lux. Yes, Lux is a part of the pantheon of gods that was previously established at the beginning of this new era of Doctor Who. So we got flashbacks to the Toymaker, the Maestro, and Sutekh. So yes, the pantheon are back, and Lux is the latest member that we have met. Now, the cinema caretaker, who has basically been kept hostage by Lux and has been feeding him all this information through film to give him more power, give him more light, give him more energy, is basically given motivation to stay and to help the god by giving him, one of the films that he gives is of his dead wife, who through the power of light and film combined is able to meet and dance with, and basically resurrected through the power of film. So, obviously with all this very, very interesting and genre-defining shenanigans is taking place, the Doctor and Belinda end up being trapped by Lux in animation. Yes, in animation itself. We see the Doctor and Belinda in animated form, which we do already see in the trailers, but in order to escape, they have to journey through the history of animation by developing emotions and going beyond two-dimensional characters to escape. And the Doctor mentions that Gallifrey's been destroyed, and that makes him very sad, that he doesn't know what's going to happen in 2025, and obviously refers to the season arc. And both characters end up sharing emotions, and that leads to them sort of escaping. But during their sort of escape, they break the fourth wall in such a big way, and they meet Doctor Who fans. Yeah, I'm not even kidding. They meet actual Doctor Who fans. 3 fans that are all watching the episode live, and, well, they have a little conversation about the show. The Doctor's surprised that his adventures have been captured on TV, and he asks them all what's their favourite adventure, and they all reply with literally the basic response of Blink. Yes, the Weeping Angel episode from 2007 is their favourite. The Doctor tries to say, oh, well, he's had better adventures, with the Goblin, having an episode where he was stuck on the landmine throughout it all, referring to Boom from last season. But no, Blink is the one that the fans seem to love, and I feel like, yeah, that is definitely a meta response. But anyway, the Doctor and Belinda are able to escape back to reality, where Lux reveals his true plan, his real game-changing plan, where he steals the Doctor's regeneration energy to grow and become even more powerful, to break that two-dimensional dimension, and to make a bigger and more powerful entry into reality. But Belinda and the caretaker have a plan to blow up all the film tapes to create a hole to the real world through the rubble of the cinema, which allows Lux to absorb the sunlight, which is more powerful than anything, more powerful than the atom bomb, and it causes him to grow and expand infinitely, which means he expands into nothing. And this therefore releases the victims that are trapped. And there we go. The Doctor and Belinda continue their travels in the TARDIS, and they whisk off onto adventures anew. But there's something that is lurking in the aftermath, and that something is Mrs. Flood, who, well, she's there and she speaks to Tommy Lee and his mother about the TARDIS as it dematerializes, and mentions that the TARDIS is part of a limited run show that ends on May 24th, which is referring to the air date of the finale, where things are meant to be heating up. Well, at least if you look at the spoiler-free previews, that is, anyway. But with all that being said, thank you so much for tuning into this video. If you are new around here, click that like button and also hit the subscribe button as well with notifications turned on. As with this season of Doctor Who, there's going to be a lot of theory videos, a lot of news, breakdowns, that sort of thing. And next week, I feel like it's going to be a really interesting week for Doctor Who as well. So, yeah, I'll see you all next time. Goodbye for now.